This is Vegas All Net Radio, the final frontier of free speech.
Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
Welcome to Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis, counselor here in Las Vegas. My number is 702-626-9400. I'm going to get that out of the way in case somebody needs a counselor out there. Not you necessarily, but one of your friends, right? And what I do is this Good Medicine program, because I'm not able to see everybody. I can't see everybody one-on-one, right? So this program is pretty much just like Good Medicine. It's counseling, it's therapy, it's all those good things in life in one little hour radio package. Every week we're here at 11 o'clock on Vegas All Net Radio. And today, I think I have my most special guest that we've had so far. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. The reason why we have the music, too, from Wizard of Oz with the witch and the tornado. Have you ever seen that movie, EJ?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why is because sometimes we feel in life that we're walking through a storm and a tornado and nothing makes sense and we've been uplifted and thrown around, and then when we land, we don't understand the land that we're in, and we've lost connection and unity, and we don't understand. However, I've got a guest here today that I think completely understands. When the house falls and everything falls apart, you get back up and you just keep on going. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. My guest today is EJ, and his mom, Maggie, is with us today. They're with us today, and I met them. I'm going to tell you the story about EJ. I met him last weekend. We went to a really awesome event here in Las Vegas. It's an annual event that we were just so fortunate to get to go to. So happy to go. It was called Health, Healing, and Happiness. It's going to be back next year. Go look it up and get your tickets early. When I walked into Health, Healing, and Happiness, the first person that I saw that I literally wanted to meet was you, EJ. EJ, how old are you?
8.
8? Yes, this 8-year-old little fella here, big fella here, he's the first person I wanted to meet, and his mom. And I'm really glad I got to meet you. You're my bud. So why do you think that Health, Healing, and Happiness was important for you and your mom to go to? Why'd you go?
Because we're trying to make money selling probiotic chocolates.
So you are making money selling probiotic chocolates. By the way, EJ gave me a gift today. I have probiotic chocolates and coffee, so thank you so much. Why do you need probiotics? What's important about that?
It helps your immune system, and it helps the good side of the bacteria in your immune system.
So if there's good bacteria in my belly, then I'll feel better. Maybe in my head too. My whole body will feel better if my belly feels better, do you think?
Yeah.
Well, it's chocolate though. That's the most important thing, right?
It's easy to take.
It's easy to take. You know, I want your mom to tell me the story about why she decided to have chocolate probiotics. What's so important about that, Maggie?
Yes. Well, a little bit about our journey and EJ's journey. I got involved with health and fitness probably about 6 years ago. And one of the things that I did individually as a person was I decided not to eat animal products anymore. And I was working out, and as a result of that, a lot of trainers, I would say 97% of them, told me you possibly cannot be healthy, be fit, work out at the level that you want to, and not eat animal products. It's absolutely, you can't do it. So obviously, being a determined individual, I said, nope, that's not possible. I'm going to figure that out. So I started studying, and I started studying health and nutrition. And during that time, something unique happened. EJ, at 4 years old, started losing his hair. We took him to the doctor and found out he was diagnosed with alopecia. So alopecia is an autoimmune disorder, and there is no cure for alopecia. So at that time, the doctor said, we can start him on a course of some not testosterone. We can start him with some steroids. And of course, being a concerned parent, I was going, wait a second, steroids, ooh, that doesn't sound so good. And before we decide to go that route, let me take a moment back, or take a step back, and let me research it. So that started me down the path of going, how are we going to do this holistically, naturally, not giving him all of the chemicals and all of the medications that are going to suppress his immune system so he can grow hair. So we got him involved in the whole entire process very, very early. He understands what it's like, obviously, to be sitting at a doctor's office and not understand some of the things that they're saying, and to go home and do our own research. So I started studying holistic nutrition, became a certified health coach, and during that process, we found out that strengthening the immune system was what we needed to do, since it is an autoimmune disease. So probiotics usually come in capsule form. We would have to break them open, put them in applesauce, and hope and pray. Yes. And hope and pray that he takes it, and fight with him every single morning about it.
Not EJ. Not EJ. You didn't fight with EJ. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Did you like taking the applesauce and the probiotics?
No.
No. So, so it actually breaks down a lot of the properties of the probiotics, and it doesn't get to the lower intestines where it needs to go, because over 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So we searched for a product, and oh my goodness, we found chocolate probiotics. So needless to say, we don't have that fighting in the morning to take probiotics anymore, do we?
No.
So you're never grumpy in the morning, EJ?
No.
Not with chocolate.
Not
Absolutely.
with the chocolate. So Excellent Choice is the name of the probiotic. Staying healthy never tasted so good.
Absolutely.
So, and you can actually call Maggie, because she is an independent affiliate, and that is how EJ and Maggie also support their income. They sell this probiotic, which I think is a great thing to do, because it's something that worked for you, something that makes you happy in the morning and not so grumpy, and you're sharing that with others. So I think that's an awesome thing. So I'm going to give the number, and it's 954-895-3987. Can you repeat that for me, please? Tell the good folks your number so that they can call and get their probiotics.
954-895-3987.
Thank you. You know what? You could be an announcer. You could do whatever you want. He could be a doctor. If you've been starting since 4 years old in the doctor's office and doing research and learning these things, what do you think?
Maybe.
You can do whatever you want to do. The reason why it was so important that you guys went is Health, Healing, and Happiness. What an incredible resource for this town. And so when you guys went, you could share that information. Did you ever get to share your story or your information with anybody there? Did anybody ask who you were, what you were doing, or anything like that? Except for me, I'm of course nosy, so and care, and I'm interested. Did anybody get a chance to talk to you?
Sometimes.
Yeah? Did you go and take your chocolates and share with people?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Here's chocolate, it's good?
I gave him the card and probiotic, and the 3 probiotic chocolates, the coffee, the acai blueberry, and then the mint.
What's your favorite?
Acai blueberry.
Do you have it every day?
Sometimes.
Do you think it makes you feel better?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. What do you think? Anything happening in your life because you started taking it?
My eyebrows are starting to grow back.
Yes, I like them too. They're nice. Nice eyebrows. I can see them. They're blonde. They're coming in though. What about anywhere else?
A little bit on my head.
Awesome. That's great. You know what? We're going to talk about today is a little different than the chocolates and the coffee, which I think makes life go around. My personal opinion. My 2 favorite drug of choice. Those are the 2 things I like the most. Healthy, and these are healthy. right?
Yeah.
And so I can eat this and not have any guilt and feel good and actually maybe get stronger and better.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want chocolate and coffee that make you feel better? I'm going to give that number again. Actually, I'm going to give you tell the number again, and then I'm going to explain a little bit about more reason why you're here.
954-895-3987.
Awesome. High five on that one. High five. When we started our conversation, our journey, because it took us a couple days to really get to know each other. I'm shy, so it took me a little time to get to know EJ, okay? And so every time that I would talk to you and your mom, I would get to know you guys a little more. And so maybe about the last day of the conference, your mom and I were talking. I was drinking my excellent choice coffee. And thank you for the samples and all the chocolate, too. I appreciate it. And your mom and I were talking about, I just went up and asked. I was just bold enough to ask in all sincerity and curiosity and care, just total care. What's going on with EJ? Does anybody ever say that? Does anybody ever ask you that?
Sometimes.
How do you feel when people do that?
Okay.
Okay. Is there times when it's irritating?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that. How that is irritating. How can it come across irritating?
People keep asking me, and the same people keep asking me.
Yeah.
It gets annoying.
So, is it normally young people or is it adults?
Young people most of the time.
Really? So they're just curious, though. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they're curious, what do you say to them?
Tell them that I'm sick and it just makes all my hair fall off and it just all grows back, or maybe not.
Okay. So maybe not. What do you think about that when you say that it might not grow back? How do you feel about that?
A little bit sad, but not that much.
So you don't let it keep you down, though, do you?
No.
Okay, I like that. It's a good, honest answer. Your mom told me a story about you. That the main reason why I wanted you guys to come on, because it was so inspiring. We're sitting at Health, Healing, and Happiness with tears in our eyes because it was such an amazing story, and we are going to share that story. But first, I want to say that that there's probably listeners out there who may not be going through exactly what you're going through, and the same illness that you're experiencing, that you've gone through since you're 4. That's a long time to go through that. But there are people out there who are going through things that it seems like they've been going through it forever and ever. They're in the tornado and they just can't seem to get out, and there's no calm from the storm. And so sometimes we feel like, it's just, we can't get back home. We can't get back safe. We can't ever feel at peace. And for those people, I think they forgot, like Dorothy, they know that the objective is there's no place like home. I just want to be at home. I just want to be at peace in my own skin and feel comfortable with myself wherever I go. That's kind of hard, huh?
Yeah.
But it's not impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. Nailed it. So the reason why I thought that it would be awesome for you to come out here is because you are going to share a part of your journey and the reason why you feel like nothing's impossible, so that other people who are going out there, who are in the storm and the house is landed, they don't feel like they have any connection, they don't have any direction, and they're just waffling out there. There's a way to get back on track. There's a way to find out why you're here on this planet. That's a pretty big concept, isn't it? Why am I here? What am I doing here? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to lure them back after the break to talk to us again here on Good Medicine with my beautiful guests, EJ and Maggie. And we're going to talk about our mission in life and why we're here, what we're doing here, and how we can help others while we're here. Does that sound cool?
All right.
Okay. Stay with us on Good Medicine. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Medicine. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. You know, I love that movie so much. Such a great classic movie. I'm Holly Davis. I'm a counselor here in Las Vegas. And today I have two very special guests with me, EJ and Maggie Morgan. And I met them this weekend at the Health, Healing, and Happiness Conference. And it just reminded me of that story that there's so many people out there who feel disconnected and they don't have unity with other people even. And so a lot of times when that happens, we just feel like we've just gone through a tornado and we don't know our place in this world or what we're doing here. And so when I met Maggie and EJ, I asked Maggie, how do you feel when people, is it okay, I think I prefaced the question, is it okay if I ask about your son, EJ? And our conversation was amazing and I just wanted to share it. So Maggie, when I ask you that question, I think you might get that question a lot. Do you?
Yes, we do get that question quite often. A lot of people, of course, do the staring, will kind of do the second look back, and you can tell in their face and their eyes that they want to ask, and a lot of times they don't. And of course, things that we don't understand or we don't know about, we have a tendency of just staring at. And so we get that quite often. We're very used to it. But that's one thing that we've done with EJ is empowering him in his own wellness from very young. He understands it. He's able to speak to others because the more education we give him, the easier it is for him to be able to answer those questions, to be able to handle the kids that may bully him or pick on him or just tease him not knowing. So, yes, we do get that quite often.
So I think it's ignorance. And I shared also with Maggie that for me, I want to know more because I think the more that I know and the more knowledge that I have about the situations, then the better I can understand and the less disconnect that we have and the less isolated we are, because really, truly, we're all made up of atoms. We're all human beings and we all, we're made up of flesh and bone, and we all have feelings. And so in order for me to have a better understanding, I like to ask, because then when I understand, I feel closer.
Yes, absolutely. And it helps EJ as well. It helps him be able to feel a little bit more confident about himself, being able to be open and to talk to others. And it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to ask why you're different. And it gives him an opportunity, again, to share his story, his journey with other people, because we're all fighting a battle, something that we may not even see every single day. And just having that opportunity of connecting with people on a day-to-day basis, you never know whose life you may impact.
Oh, that's absolutely true. So I think the crux of the biscuit of the chocolate truffle is that when you are piqued, your interest is piqued and you're curious about another human being, and it's not for their detriment or for bad, but for their good, and you want to know about that person or connect with them in some way, or just say, hi, how are you? I think you should do it. If you're at a grocery store, if you're at school, if you're at Health, Healing, and Happiness, of course, that's what you need to do. You need to go to those people that you find that there's some kind of connection. You need to talk to them and put yourself out there. It might be a little bit of a stretch for some people to do that, but I find when I do that, I discover some of the most amazing people and things. So, of course, the next question I had for Maggie was, well, how do children, being as open and honest as most humans can be, which I envy them as well, just being just human and real, taking the mask down, that's how they live. I asked Maggie, well, how did children respond, and especially at school?
Yes, so we moved here from South Florida, so this was a brand new school year, brand new friends, brand new everything for EJ. So of course, being a concerned mom, you're thinking, oh my goodness, how is this going to go? Not only is everything brand new, but he's different. So of course, being a parent, you want to sit next to him in school every single day, and that's not possible. So the best thing that I could do for EJ is give him as much information as possible to be able to be confident in what's going on with him, be confident in himself. I spoke to the teacher prior to school, the start of school, and explained to her that he had alopecia, and really his only restriction is he has to wear a hat outside. That's it. But other than that, he is a normal kid just like everybody else.
So what a good advocate. Your mom's your advocate. You should be an advocate for him. So you went in there and you took care of business. And how did everything go this last year in school?
Well, one of the things that I must say that EJ was, of course, made friends right away. And
Of course.
And the teacher told the class one day when he walked out, like the first week of school, said, you know, everyone, EJ's different. I know you can see he doesn't have any hair, but nobody is to ask him anything. And told all the kids, do not ask him anything about his hair or say anything. And if you guys do, you're going to be in trouble. So, of course, that kind of, you know, stopped the questions or, you know, them staring or wondering what was going on. So the teacher was very careful and trying to protect him, but did treat him a little bit different.
Hold on, I got to interrupt here because you know what? It's like herding cats with kids don't be curious.
Right.
Don't be fascinated and curious. So that must have been a real interesting week, that first week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
So a couple weeks later, a child brought in a book, and it was The Scarecrow and Its Hair.
No, Scarecrow's hair.
Oh, Scarecrow's hair. And so the child brought in the book, and the teacher decided, you know, I usually read over or glimpse through the books before I read them to the class. She goes, so I started going through it, and I saw that the Scarecrow had lost his hair. She goes, immediately I thought of EJ and thinking, oh my goodness, no way am I reading this book in front of the class. I don't want EJ to be different or feel different. So she immediately said, no, we're not reading the book. And the child that brought in the book said, well, why not? And as the kids started gathering around her to read the book and listen to her read the book, she decided, now I'm stuck. I've got to read the book. So she said she felt very uneasy about it. She read the book, how the Scarecrow lost its hair, and I believe that the birds made a nest or something out of its hair. And so she goes through the whole entire thing. And after the book is done, EJ raised his hand and asked the teacher, is it possible that I can get up and talk to the class and tell them what's going on with me? And she told me, she goes, I didn't know what he was going to say. And I said, okay, go right ahead. And he stood up in front of the class and described what was going on with him.
Wow, you're pretty brave. What did you say?
That I have alopecia totalis and it's okay to be different.
High five. You're awesome. You know what, there's somebody who's on the line who wants to talk to you. And by the way, if anybody else wants to talk to EJ, you can call 702-483-4444. We have Dolly on the line. Dolly, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. I'm Dolly Barton from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hey, Okie.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. You're an Okie?
I am an Okie.
Fabulous.
Sister.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, what is the difference between PMS that should be normal? What is normal? And how do you know when your rage is not just PMS? I mean, it's very typical of women, you know. I blame a lot of things on PMS, but sometimes, you know, I get really down in the dumps and stuff, and I wonder how much of it is psychological, emotional, mental, or chemical. You know, what's the difference?
You know what? I'm going to give that question to Maggie. I think you could probably answer this question because Maggie is a life coach. You want to take that one on?
Yes. Well, I must say that definitely everybody is different. So how one person reacts to certain things is going to be different from the next. I have to tell you that obviously, definitely, if you feel that something is not normal, by all means, definitely seek medical attention. That's first and foremost, because I'm not a doctor.
Like what? I mean, because like, are you talking about throwing things? Because that's a good one. That's a good one for me. So, you know, yeah, I can definitely go in a rage. But I mean, and like I say, you know, there was a lady that came into our shop today, and she didn't like something that I made for her, and I just turned around. I was just disgusted. I didn't even talk to her. You know, but how much of it is, you know, how do you know when the rage is, you know, just from throwing things or, you know, yelling and screaming? What's normal?
I would definitely say, is this something that goes on every day of the month, or is this just during the certain time?
Once a month.
Just once a month?
Thank God.
I would definitely probably definitely speak with somebody on how to be able to cope with those type of things that come over you. When it gets to a point of you acting out or becoming throwing things or some sort of violence, then yes, I would say that probably isn't the norm. So you may want to seek out somebody to talk to on how to manage that anger during those times. You can definitely redirect some of those things. There's definitely all kinds of different coping mechanisms when you become angry. The whole take a deep breath, count to 10. You hear that a lot. Walk away from the situation, remove yourself from the situation, go for a walk, do something that can put you in a different state of mind. Something that makes you happy.
You know what? And I wanted to say as well that I'm not a medical doctor. I don't believe Maggie is a medical doctor either. What Maggie does is she is a life coach, a health life coach. So you help people with mental, physical, emotional, and overall well-being. And that's what my approach is in therapy as well. So I'm not a medical doctor. I don't think EJ could answer that question that the caller had. But if there's anybody else who wants to call and ask EJ a question, 702-483-4444. But I bet there are a lot of things that when we take care of our mind, we can take care of our body. And so for you, Maggie, do you find that there are clients who come in who are emotionally they just don't feel normal? They feel like their life is a little wrecked, and you go overboard at times. And what are some of the things that you recommend to them? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the things that Maggie does, that she actually works with people. You would have an opportunity to mentor with Maggie. And what an amazing lady. And she can give you some of those clues as well. And also, I want to give the number again. Do you want to do that for me, EJ?
Okay. 954-895-3987.
All right. That's so you can get a hold of Maggie and that they can sell their probiotics. Why would we want to buy their probiotics?
Because it's chocolate. And it's good.
And it's coffee. All right, we'll be right back on Good Medicine. Welcome back to Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis. I have two very special guests here with me that they're my new best friends that I met this weekend at Health, Healing, and Happiness. It's Maggie and EJ. And EJ has alopecia. And so the first person I met this weekend was EJ, and I'm so glad that we did. He brought me a nice gift of Excellent Choice coffee and dark chocolate truffles that have probiotics in them, because his mom is a health coach, and she knows these things. They've done research together, both of them, and they know why it's so important. What are some of the things that you do talk to people about and help them with?
It's not just about nutrition. It's not just about eating. So I'm a certified personal trainer as well. And I noticed very early on that there was a disconnect, that people will come spend money on a trainer, and then you're spending 3 hours a week with me, and then you're going and eating McDonald's. And then you're coming back and wondering, I'm not losing weight. I don't know why that is. So I just figured there's got to be something more. There is this health, mind, body connection. And when you're making any type of changes, it has to be all in sync together. So somebody can be physically fit and look like they're fit, but health-wise not be. And emotionally could be a wreck. So that was pretty much my quest to go, how can I be able to help people get all of that in balance? It could be your relationships in your life. Maybe you don't have a great relationship at home or with your family members, whatever the case may be. That will spill over into all aspects of your life. You could be, again, physically fit, but if you're not eating well, you're kind of just negating everything you're doing in the gym. So how can we make those changes together as a team and figure out, okay, how are we going to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into your diet? And everybody is different. One thing I learned very early on in my education is one person's medicine is another person's poison. And what works for me may not work for you. So it is extremely important to be able to work with somebody that is a health coach and be able to look at all aspects and to know you individually and put together a plan of action of the areas of your life that you want to see changes in. It's very easy to go and buy a program off of the store shelf, a workout program or, an eating guide or anything like that. And so many people wonder why 2 weeks, 3 weeks into it, they fail and they can't stick to it because it wasn't designed specifically for you.
It's because they need Maggie.
They need me. That's exactly it.
Can you please give them your mom's number so that they can have somebody to help them through this? Why would you want to go it alone when you could have somebody to help you, mentor you through it? Give them her number.
954-895-3987.
Okay, and you know what? I like what you said about, one person's medicine could be another person's poison. You have to really kind of know yourself. Even when you're having those days where you want to throw things, and hopefully you don't, and you're feeling out of sorts, like the spinning house in the Wizard of Oz, and you feel lost. And you're not really sure about why your emotions. I work out, I do everything right, I drink plenty of water, and you can still feel those feelings like you are so far from home, you are so disconnected. And I think a lot of that is knowing yourself. That's why I like EJ's stories so much, because we were also talking about a time that you guys had a conversation and EJ was in the back seat. Remember that?
Yes, I do. It was actually after one of our events that we attended. It was a charity golf event, and EJ was helping me out at the table. So we were selling the probiotic chocolate. EJ was talking to people about probiotics and why is it important for everyone to take them. And on the way to Walmart, because of the money that he earned, he wanted to spend them in Pokemon cards.
Yay.
So on the way to Walmart, he all of a sudden just told me, it's okay that I don't have my hair, and it's okay if it doesn't grow back. And of course, immediately I went, what? And he told me, it's one of my 100 missions in my life. And to want to stop the car and wonder, who was this child in my car? And where did this wisdom come from? And really get to understand what's emotionally going on in him. And I think that it's so important to do those gut checks with your children. And again, just empowering them with the information to be able to feel open to have those conversations with you. And I'm sure EJ may want to share about his 100 missions and what that means to him.
My 100 missions are 100 missions in life, and alopecia is one of them, and it makes me help other people.
So you feel that this is not something that's a horrible or bad thing that happened to you, that it's a part of why you're here on this planet?
Yeah.
That's an amazing way to look at it. I like your 100 missions, and I told your mom I'm going to steal that from you, but I'm going to give you the credit every time I use that 100 missions, because with adults, I work with a lot of children too, but with the adults, I find people that are lost, or they find that something that's happened to them in their life, they find that it causes them to be disabled. They're not able to move on. There are blocks in their life, and they use those things, sickness, illness, whatever it is, as not an excuse, but it's a block, and it's something that they have a hard time moving forward. And so something that I do to try to help get rid of some of those blocks and to help them to move forward is, when's the last time you had fun? When's the last time you thought about all the things that you want to do in this life instead of always complaining or looking at the problems? Let's look at some of the solutions. So I do that by, I give my clients homework. Your mom makes them do squats. I make them do homework.
No.
Yes, homework. I make them write or read or something like that. I always give them some reading. But one of the homework assignments that I always give them is the top 100 things I want to do in life. So I had it first, but we're going to give you credit. The top 100, and it's not a bucket list, because I don't want it to be negative. I want it to be the things in life that you want to do that would be exciting. Name something you would like to do in life that you think would be super exciting.
Buy all the Pokemon cards in the world.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm not saying that's impossible. It's impossible, but have fun. That's going to take a while. That's going to take a while. And so some of those things on our list we forget even as we get older, and we have to pay bills, and we have to buy our excellent choice chocolate, dark chocolate truffles. We get caught up, and we forget to be creative and remember that there are things that we want to do that we forgot. Like, go to Disneyland, be an extra in a movie, learn how to play violin, learn how to speak Spanish. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Can your mom ask her if she can think of anything she'd like to do?
What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? Travel.
Me too. So those things just kind of open us up again. But I like your spin on it, because your spin is more not just the things I want to do in life and the things I think are fun and exciting, but it's what I'm here for. One of my 100 missions I know is to be a mom. That's a mission, let me tell you. To be a mom is a mission. To be a good friend to others is a mission. To be a counselor is a mission. Some of the things that your mom is here for is to be a health coach. What about you? What are some of the other things on your mission list?
I don't know.
Well, you got 99 more to come up with. But I think I like the way that you put it. Is that some of the things that we go through, they're our mission. It's a call. It's what we're here for. It's not to smash us down. It's to make us better.
Absolutely. It's one of the things we always talk about. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. And honestly, without alopecia, I don't know if EJ would be so confident. I'm not sure if he would be so outspoken. I'm not exactly sure if he would be that same personality, because this has made him that extrovert, because he's had to be. And a lot of times you hear that saying, you don't know how strong you can be until you have to be. And that is exactly what I think of when I look at EJ. He's extremely strong because he has had to be. He's extremely confident because he's had to be. And that's a good thing, because that's going to take him to all different places and opportunities in the world as a result of it. So, yes, alopecia is something that is not happening to him. It's happening for him.
Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it. It's a great outlook. What do you think you're going to be when you grow up? Anything you want.
I don't know.
You don't know? What about a doctor?
Maybe.
What about a teacher?
No.
What about a researcher?
Maybe.
What about a counselor?
Maybe.
What about a movie star on the radio or on television?
I don't know.
Well, they're all options. I like that 100 missions in life, and I would really enjoy it if there are people who are listening out there who would actually take pen to paper or just take the time to think. I think one of the things that are missing in life is taking that time to really think. And Dr. Scott Peck, he's one of my favorite writers, and he was actually a psychologist, and he wrote the book, The Road Less Traveled. It's such a great book, and he actually said that he took 4 hours a day, 4 hours out of his day just to think. And I mean, how different would our lives look if we took that time to think about our life and what our mission is? What is my mission? What am I here for? Why do I go through the things that I go through? Why have I gone through the things that I've gone through? And how can I turn this around and make it a mission and not make me a victim? Not make it stop me. It's going to make me stronger. And if you were to write those things down, some of the missions that I have in life, I think people would be more empowered. I think they'd be stronger for it. And of course, if they got their excellent choice, coffee and chocolate, what do you think?
They would be healthy.
And do you think that's a good mission in life, to be healthy?
Yes.
You think that if you're healthy, you can share that with other people too?
Yeah.
Maybe that's another mission for you.
I guess. You can't forget to take coffee or chocolate.
Okay, yeah. Tell them the number.
954-895-3987.
Thank you. And why else should they call? Is there anything that your mom can offer to them besides just the chocolate, which is, just chocolate? That's an oxymoron right there. Besides the dark chocolate truffles that have probiotics that make you healthy, and the coffee, why else would it be a good idea for them to call your mom?
My mom could help them with, getting fit and other stuff.
What other stuff?
I don't know.
You poor thing. You know what? I'm so glad that you guys are my guests today. It's EJ and Maggie Morgan. Excellent choice. And once again, that number is 954-895-3987. We're going to take a little break. We're going to, when we come back, we're going to give some of the pointers and some of the things that Maggie shares with her clients every single solitary day. Maybe a little bit about your mission as mom, Maggie. Okay?
All right.
All right. We're listening to Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to take a break and we'll come right back with our special guest.
Bye.
You are listening to Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis, and my guest today, you want to introduce yourself and your mom?
Maggie Morgan and EJ.
EJ. And what did you say to me during the break?
I forgot.
You forgot. He said, I want to come back next week. Yeah, you can be my sidekick. I think that'd be great. We could have a radio show together. What do you think?
Okay.
You want to do it every week?
Yeah.
You think that could be one of your missions?
Yeah.
To be on radio? Let's talk. Ask your mom what one of her missions is.
What is one of your missions?
One of my missions is definitely being a mom and making sure that I'm empowering my children to be able to be healthy adults and make their own decisions by giving them the access to the information and being able to make their own choices when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle. Both of, obviously, I do have an older one that is 21 years old, and EJ, that's 8. And they've been around the healthy lifestyle, and we've always eaten different in our household. Every single day, I make 2 separate meals. EJ is a carnivore and eats meat. My oldest one wasn't. He used to be a carnivore as well, but him being around that lifestyle and seeing me not eating animal products, he decided on his own, and he's a complete vegan on his own. That's not something I impose upon my children. I let them make that decision on their own. They have the education to make those decisions, and I've allowed them to be able to learn about it, to experience it. I think probably EJ knows more about veganism and healthy lifestyle than most children probably do in 2nd grade. And so, and it's a great opportunity to, again, educate them and for them to take that out in the world and impact others. My oldest one says it all the time. When I tell people that I don't eat animal products, that I am a vegan, they look at me that I'm strange, because there's not a lot of young adults that are 20, 21-year-olds that are vegans and live that healthy lifestyle. So I believe that is a big mission of mine, is to give my children the education, the opportunity to live a different lifestyle, to live a healthy lifestyle, give them all that information, and then they can make their own decisions and what they want to do.
AJ, do you think that you could go into your classroom and do a presentation about health?
Yeah.
I bet you could. So, another thing, too, that I was just thinking that's endearing, too, is that not only your mom, but I think that you must have been selected because you're strong, and it's a very precious thing that you've been entrusted with. So there must be really something special about you.
I must say that I'm blessed that I definitely have been chosen to be his mom. There has been many times that in fact, on the drive out here when we were moving, in the moving truck driving, I think we're crossing Oklahoma, EJ crying, upset, because why? Why did God do this to me? And of course, as a parent, it's absolutely heartbreaking, because you want to protect your children. You want to make everything okay and fix it. That's not absolutely possible in everything. But being able to empower them and give them every opportunity to feel confident in what they do and how they are as a human being is my job. That's what I had to do. And to have that conversation with him and go, you know why? Because God chose you, because not any child, not anybody else could be able to handle it. But he chose you because you're strong. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason to be able to go out there and educate others that it's okay. It's completely okay to be different. And with that, I think, yes, there has been some questions as far as why and I wish, but after that, that was a huge turning point for him, that he all of a sudden, his personality blossomed, his confidence blossomed. He immediately changed, that it was a blessing for him to be able to be different and to be able to tell other people that, hey, it's okay.
It's okay to embrace your mission. I think that nobody else in the world could do the mission that you're doing, EJ. No one else on the planet can do that. And I think you've done a great job, Mom.
Thank you.
An excellent job. What do you think? Did she do a good job?
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
Kinda.
Kind of.
So give us just a couple little pointers, Maggie, before you go. And I want EJ to do his DJ EJ and give the information again for Mom. But first I want her to share some of the things, not only as a mom, but some of the things that she imparts to people who sign up with her as a health coach.
Yes, one of the things, of course, is getting to know you. What are some of your goals in your life? It could be developing or improving relationships. It could be finding purpose in your life. It could be getting healthier. It could be working out, losing weight, whatever that is. It's definitely getting to know you and what are some of those goals and how are we going to develop a plan. One of the things that I love to tell everybody that I encourage everyone to have is definitely to have a gratitude diary. And first thing every single morning, you should be waking up and at least list 3 things that you are grateful for on that day. And it changes.
You do give homework, don't you?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. And it changes your outlook. It changes how you view that day completely. A lot of times people say, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I guarantee you, if you're writing 3 things that you're grateful for and that you're happy for every single day, you're not waking up on the bad side of the bed. It changes right then and there for you.
That's excellent. I think that you would just be just a great example, just to have somebody like you in my life, I think, would just that alone. And then you're going to teach me how to eat right and exercise too. All that and a bag of chocolate, truffles, and coffee. You know what, EJ? I want you to answer this question, and then I want you to give everybody the information and tell them what you and your mom are selling. What are 3 things that you're grateful for just today?
To have a home, friends, and stuff to eat.
That's good.
And a mom.
And a mom.
And a mom.
And
I don't know.
and Holly.
And Holly, too.
And Holly, too, and getting to come on the radio station. I was excited this morning, too. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see AJ today. So tell our listeners what you need them to do and what you're selling.
Call 954-895-3987 and you get chocolate and coffee.
What kind of chocolate and coffee?
Dark chocolate and coffee.
What does it do when you take it? Because
it's probiotics.
Special. It's special?
And it helps your immune system.
Okay. And why is that important?
So you'll be healthy.
Yeah?
And get fit.
Do you think that's all that it takes to get healthy and fit and to be healthy?
No.
What else does it take?
To eat right and to work out.
I think to accept your mission. To accept your mission in life is a big, huge part of it. To mentally accept where you are in life, and if you don't like where you're at in life, not to sulk about it, but like your mom said, be appreciative of some of the opportunities that you do have and use what you're going through and make the most of it. I think that's what you do, EJ, and that's why I'm so glad that you came on today.
Holly, I have something special actually for your listeners. So anyone that calls me, and they could have a one-on-one consultation with me free of charge. And we can sit down, we can talk about, again, some of those goals in your life and what you're looking on making changes or improving in your life. And we could definitely, if you're interested in the chocolate, we have probiotic chocolate and we have a weight management chocolate. And then we also have the coffee, which actually has 200% more antioxidants than the regular chocolate. And it is also, there is a business aspect of it. So if anybody's interested, you can call me at 954-895-3987.
He is just a sheer natural born superstar. I'm Holly Davis, and you are listening to Good Medicine. EJ and Maggie Morgan are here. Excellent choice. Dark chocolate truffles, and I think you said something about a weight management one too. Wow, that's a lot. And also just redefining what our mission. What is our mission in life? What are we here for? And when we find that, just following through and accepting the mission in life. And that usually our mission is about helping others, I think. What do you think, EJ?
Yeah.
High five. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
You're listening
you.
to Good Medicine. You guys have a wonderful day. Be back next Thursday on Vegas All Net Radio. You're listening to Good Medicine with Holly Davis. Have a good one.